Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dewi Juwairiyah. A data test a data set of factors influencing consumer behavior towards bringing out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in Vietnam. Introduction. Datasets present factors influencing consumer behavior towards bringing out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in Vietnam. The survey was designed based on the theoretical integration model of theory of plane behavior, a norm activation model, including X factor. 25 items inherited from the studies. 7 other items were used to find out the respondents' characteristics, including gender, age, educational qualification, marital status, job, number of family members, and income. The questionnaire was sent in two forms: direct distribution and collection at some supermarkets. Online survey via Google Docs to some consumers in Vietnam in November 2020. 536 filled questionnaires were collected to study factors influencing consumer behavior towards bringing out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in Vietnam. The dataset was collected as a reference source for later research on consumer behavior to protect the environment in general and behavior to bring out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in particular. And then theoretical framework. Does research follow logical order? Is the author's research supported by accurate information? Is the author experienced on this? What did the author emphasize in his article? And then method. Questionnaire. And then participants are consumers in Vietnam who have gone to the supermarket at least once, voluntarily participating in the survey. Then the data was collected in two ways: direct distribution and collection at some supermarkets. Online survey via Google Docs to some consumers in Vietnam in November 2020. The dataset includes 536 valid responses. And then the datasets use the integration of two TBB NAM theories to study factors that influence consumer behavior towards bringing out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in Vietnam. The dataset has collected the opinions of 536 Vietnamese consumers about a sustainable consumption behavior that is meaningful to the environment. And then the dataset is a reference from the authorities to promote sustainable consumption behavior, in particular consumption of not using plastic when shopping at the supermarket. The next is data presentation and analysis. The data set was collected through a two-part survey. The first part explores the respondents' characteristics including gender, age, educational qualification, marital status, job, number of family members, and income. Table 1. The second part explores response consents to assessment relates to factors influencing consumer behavior towards bringing out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in Vietnam. Table 2. And Table 3 shows more detailed results between the variables. The survey was sent to consumers served to from direct distribution and collection at some supermarkets. Online survey via Google Docs to some consumers in Vietnam in November 2020. in the form of direct distribution at some supermarkets. The author observed and instructed the answers. Each consumer spent about 15 minutes completing the survey. From the form of online survey via Google Docs tool, the author gathered emails of individuals in some agencies and organizations operating in Vietnam. Then send the survey questionnaire link directly via their email. The results obtained a total of 536 valid survey questionnaire in both form, in which in the form of survey at supermarkets, the author obtained 211 valid questionnaire out of the total of 236 questionnaire, reaching the rate of 89.8% in the form of online survey. The author obtained 325 valid questionnaire out of 600 emails sending survey questionnaire links to consumers, reaching the rate of 54.2%. The questionnaire and answers were shown in the supplementary files. The dataset includes the response characteristics table 1 and X factor 1 behavior and 2 intention and 3 attitude and 4 subject norms, 5 perceived behavior control, 6 awareness of consequence, 7 ascription of responsibility, 8 personal norm table 2. Next, conclusion. Based on the datasets, further studies can study the relationship between factor in the TBB name integration model or separate age theory to find factor influencing consumer intention and behavior towards bringing out shopping bags instead of using plastic bags in Vietnam. And then comment. I think the theme of this article is very interesting to me because it's relevant from everyday life. I think enough. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.